All right, if you're gearing up for your Class X boards, this is for you. We're not just going to look at a sample paper. Nope, we're going to crack the code. This right here is your official blueprint for the 2025 Mathematics Standard paper. So let's dive in. So, are you ready? I mean, really ready? Imagine walking into that exam hall already knowing the entire game plan. That's the kind of confidence we're building today. We're moving beyond just studying. We're talking about real smart strategy. Okay, so here's the deal. In just the next few minutes, we're going to break down the official blueprint for your exam. And listen, this isn't about solving a bunch of problems. It's about strategy. It's about understanding the why behind the paper's design. Because trust me, that's the real first step to absolutely acing it. First up, the rules of the game. Let's talk about the mission-critical stats. You know, every exam has them. And knowing them inside and out, that gives you a serious edge. So let's lock these core numbers in your mind right now. You've got 3 hours. Exactly. That's 180 minutes to show what you know. Time management isn't just important. It's going to be your absolute best friend in that exam hall. And it's all for a total of 80 marks. Every single mark counts, right? Knowing where those big points are hidden is going to be key to how you prioritize your time. And for those 80 marks, you're going to face 38 questions. Now, I know that sounds like a lot, but don't worry, they're broken down into a super specific structure, which is exactly what we're going to get into right now. So, the whole paper is split into 5 sections. You got Section A, Section B, C, D, and E. Each one is designed to test a different skill, and they all have a different weight. Oh, and here's the one rule to rule them all. No calculators. Nope. Not allowed. This entire exam is a test of pure brain power. So, let's see how these sections all fit together. All right, Section 2, decoding the 5 sections. This is it. This is the heart of our strategy session right here. We're going to dissect this paper piece by piece and figure out not just what's in each section, but why it's there and how you should tackle it. First up, we have Section A, which I like to call the sprint. And it's called that for a reason. It's designed to be fast. It's all about how quickly you can recall those core concepts and formulas. This is where you'll find your multiple choice questions and those kind of tricky assertion reason questions. Let's look at the numbers. You've got questions 1 through 18 as MCQs, and 19 and 20 are assertion reason. That's 20 questions for 20 marks total. Think about that. That's a quarter of your entire score, right there, decided by your speed and accuracy. There is zero room for hesitation here. Okay, moving on to Section B, the short answer challenge. This is where you've got to shift gears. You're moving on from just picking an answer to actually showing your work. These are very short answer questions, but trust me, the steps really, really matter. So you're looking at questions 21 to 25. 5 questions, 2 marks each for a total of 10 marks. And here's the key. One of those marks is usually for your method, and the other is for the final answer. So please don't give away easy points. Show your work even if the steps feel super obvious to you. And that brings us to Section C, what I call the mid-distance run. This is really the heart of the paper, you know? The questions here get more substantial. They require you to prove that you've got a really solid grasp of the concepts. We're talking 6 questions, from 26 to 31, and they're worth 3 marks apiece. That's 18 marks total. This is where you prove you can actually apply theorems and concepts. The examiner has to be able to follow your logic, step by step. A clean, well-explained solution, it's not just a nice-to-have, it's absolutely essential if you want all 3 of those marks. All right, get ready for Section D. This is the marathon. These are the heavy hitters of the exam, no doubt about it. They're designed to test your deep, in-depth knowledge and your problem-solving endurance. So check this out. It's only 4 questions, 32 to 35, but they're worth a massive 5 marks each. That's 20 marks just from 4 questions. This is where you absolutely have to allocate a serious chunk of your time. Full, detailed, step-by-step working isn't just recommended, it is completely non-negotiable. And finally, we get to Section E, the real-world test. This whole section is all about application. It takes all those abstract concepts you've been learning and throws them into practical, story-based problems. It's math in action. So here you'll find 3 case study questions, numbers 36, 37, and 38. Each one is worth 4 marks, but here's the crucial part. They're broken down into subparts. Usually you'll see a 1 mark, another 1 mark, and a 2-mark question all tied to the same story. So you have to read that scenario really carefully and then tackle each little piece. All right, section 3, a glimpse at the questions. So we've totally mapped out the structure, right? But knowing the sections is one thing. Seeing the actual questions is something else entirely. Let's look at a couple of examples so you can really feel how the demands shift as you move through the paper.
This really sums it up perfectly. Look at the difference. For a Section A question, your goal is simple. Find the right answer and do it fast. It's all about speed and accuracy. But for a Section D question, the goal is totally different. You have to show your entire thought process. The focus shifts to method and detail. The journey, your step-by-step work, becomes just as important as the final answer.
Okay, let's take a look at an assertion-reason question from Section A. So you've got assertion A and reason R. Now, your job isn't just to figure out if A and R are true on their own. The real question is R the correct explanation for A? This is a serious test of how clear you are on the concepts, down to the last detail. And then, bam, you get to Section C, and you see something like this, a geometry question. This isn't about a quick calculation you can punch into. Well, you can't use a calculator anyway. It's asking you to build a logical proof step by step using geometric principles. It really does require a completely different part of your brain. Okay, so let's put it all together in our final section, your winning strategy. We've decoded the paper, we've seen the structure, we've seen the different types of questions. Now, how do we turn all of this knowledge into an actual winning strategy? What are the most important takeaways? Here it is, your final checklist. First, for that Section A sprint, you need to master the concepts until it's muscle memory. For Sections B and C, get into the habit of showing all your work, like practice writing solutions so clearly that you could teach them to someone else. For the Section D marathon, you have to allocate serious time. Plan it out before you even start writing. For Section E, start connecting concepts to real-world scenarios. See the math all around you. And finally, here's a pro tip. In every section that has them, notice the internal choices. Scan them before you dive in. Play to your strengths. Pick the question you know you can nail. That's how you give yourself the best shot. So there you go. You have the map, the complete blueprint to the 2025 paper. It's not just a test anymore. It's a challenge you know how to navigate. So the only real question left is, now that you have the map, where are you going to focus your preparation first? Think about it. Good luck.